Hey everyone! In this video, I'm gonna be I'm gonna be ranking all of the special illustration rare trainers. I said in my previous video, not previous but previous, that I was gonna be doing this as I only did the Pokemon in that video, and I'm sure some people are interested to hear what my opinions on the trainers are. Um, and I'm actually pretty interested to hear about my own opinions on the trainers because I've never done something like this actually. I did it with the original tier list where I ranked all the trainers and the Pokemon, but having them both in the same thing is kind of hard. So maybe just doing the trainers will give me a little bit more appreciation for the individual cards. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. And I also removed the A plus tier because I think, streamlining it a little bit just makes it a little bit more understandable. But yeah, enough of that. Let's just get into the video. So firstly, our first special illustration rare trainer is going to be the Arvin from Scarlet and Violet base set. This card is illustrated by Kantaro, who is an artist who did the Miraidon from the same set. Um, I think this card is pretty nice. I really love the colors on it, and I really love how like Arvin looks. Like I like the art style a lot. Arvin looking at Mabosstiff, creating some kind of a picnic, just making food. A big part of Scarlet and Violet in terms of like the just like the vibe. And I like how everything looks in the card. I think for a first special illustration rare, it's very good. I'll put it in B plus tier for now. Maybe a little bit higher afterwards. Our next card is going to be the Jacques. This is by Oswaldo Cato. I really like this card a lot. And he's just kind of sleeping, so I feel like a lot of people might not respect that, I guess, just as an artwork. I think it's very nice, actually. I really love how, like, it feels kind of cozy. It feels kind of homey. You have the Jacques who's, like, sleeping with next to all, like, the books and different assignments or whatever, and he's just, like, done with it. I think it's a cute artwork. I like it. I'll put it in B tier for now. And these will change, obviously, as I go through them. Next is the Miriam. This is by Akira Komiyama. This is the chase card. Well, it was the chase card of Scarlet and Violet base set. I don't know if it still is anymore. I'm not sure. I haven't checked in a while. This is a nice looking card. And Miriam is a trainer who I do not care about at all. Miriam is a character who's like barely represented in Scarlet and Violet. Not one of the main characters or anything. But the artwork on this card is phenomenal. I'll admit it. I really like how it's got like you have like a blue outline shadow behind the trainer. Like having the kind of blocked out little areas. It looks really nice. Um, and I really like the concept where they're like tripping, dropping a bunch of stuff, but like everything that they drop has like that like nice blue shadow behind it, so it's very eye-catching, and it's a very good looking artwork. So I'm gonna put it in A tier for now. Our next card is the Penny. This is by Okacheke, and Okacheke is a nice artist. He's done a lot of really nice cards. Definitely one that I'll be reviewing in the future. But yeah, this card is cute. It's simplistic, it's effective though. I think that I really like the light coming down in this card. Yeah, I don't know. I think Penny looks nice in this card. And the hard thing about this tier list is that like it's kind of hard to talk about trainers more than it is to talk about Pokemon. Like Pokemon, I can talk about how the Pokemon looks. In these ones, it's more just like how much I like the artwork. This is the Boss's Orders by Hungry Clicker. We're already into Paldea Evolved. There are not a lot of illustration rare trainers compared to Pokemon, so this should be a pretty like a relatively faster video. But yeah, Boss's Orders by Hungry Clicker. The perspective on this one is actually quite nice. I really like how it's like a top-down view. The lantern also kind of like helps with that perspective. Just like all the chess pieces this looks really nice in this card. I mean, I think that the perspective alone is very impressive. It's simplistic. Not in a like it's not like a oversimplified art style or anything like that. I'm just saying like the concept is simplistic, but it is nice. Like I like it. I like how he's playing chess. It's cool. Plotting or whatever because he's an evil boss. I'll put it in B plus tier. I like it. It's a sick looking card. Next is the Dendra. This is by Ghidorah. I don't really mind this card. I think Ghidorah is a really good artist. I like a lot of their artworks. Dendra's not a trainer that really does anything for me, unfortunately. I don't know if people like Dendra. I'm just not like the biggest fan of the trainer, but drinking water from a water fountain is cool. I like how her face looks. Like I like the expression. I think it's pretty cool. She's on like a track or whatever. The sunlight, the sky, the colors and the art style looks nice, and I'll put it that way. I know people really like this card. Actually, a lot of people really like this card, but I'm gonna sit it right here in B tier. I really like the Jacques a lot. I think it has a lot of personality, so I'm just gonna leave it like this. Next is going to be the Giacomo. This is by Kiyotaka Oshiyama. Giacomo is a character in Scarlet and Violet who actually does get some like screen time because he's one of the team star members. Um, and I really like this card. I think that the art style is fantastic. I really like how you have like the trainer in the foreground here eating food, but you also see his face on the big screen in the background. So you have like a kind of like a technologicalized version of him in the back. Um, I think that the stereo and the speakers, everything just looks really nice. And I really like Kiyotaka Oshiyama's artwork a lot. So I have bias, but I think I think that this card has a lot going on in it. Probably one of the cheapest cards from Paldea Evolved, but I think it's one of the better all arts in Paldea Evolved. I'm gonna put it in A tier. I really like it a lot. Okay, next is the Grusha. Oh my gosh, I just realized something. Wow, I can't believe that I never noticed that before. That's Glaceon. I never realized Glaceon was in this card. Huh. Um, that's really cool. This is me being genuine. I've never realized that Glaceon was in this card. I just want to let you guys know real quick. This is probably my favorite special illustration rare trainer of all time. I really like Grusha as a character from Scarlet and Violet. I think Grusha's cool. But the artwork on this card is just fantastic. Like the tree, this detail. I like the perspective, how it's like you looking inwards. Into the house. You have Grusha drinking like some hot chocolate or something like that. You got Glaceon, really cool. But then you have some Starlies hanging around as well. I think the framing of this card is really nice because you have like the branches around the window that Grusha's inside. And I think that the artwork is just fantastic. I really love this artwork by Dom. It's got to be one of my favorite special illustration trainers, and that's just me. Okay, this is the Iono. So in my previous list, where I put all the trainers and the Pokemon together, I put this card at the very, very, very bottom of the list. Now, I don't think that's a very fair placement, so I will reevaluate my decision. I like the Rotom phone. I think that's a cool addition. Obviously Iono is a streamer, so they're probably streaming this. The Sinistea pot is cool. The Eevee cake is cool. Iono looks fine. I am not a huge fan of Iono personally, so I have a bias against Iono, like predisposition bias against Iono. But I don't hate the cards by any means or anything like that. So I'm gonna put it, you know, in B tier, C tier. I can't justify myself putting it higher than I actually want to. Um, I don't hate the card or anything, and I think Kirisaki is a really nice artist. I just think that some of the other special illustration rare trainers have a little bit more personality than this one. I mean, if you really think about it, like there's not really a lot going on in this card. Like there's a lot of food. Yeah, sure, but there's no what's the personality? I think and then I think for a card like the Arvin or the Giacomo or the Grusha, there's more personality. The environment is nicer. It just gives me more of a interesting vibe, I guess. Next is the Saguaro. This is by Sonosuke Sakuma. I think this card has more character than the Iono. At least, Saguro is like washing his hands with the Jigglypuff. It's probably one of my least favorite special illustration rares, and I won't hide that. But I don't hate it. I like how Squovit looks in this card. I like how Delibird looks. I think Delibird's kind of funny. But they're like, they're prepping food. That's at least interesting, right? I think it's more character. But I think that it's a little bit worse overall, just because this one has more stuff going on in it. This is the Geeta by Dom. I don't really care for the trainer, but I think that Dom does a fantastic job with this card. The leaves, they have this very distinct color to them with the grainy kind of effect that makes them stand out from the background. The stairs look really, really beautiful as well. And Geeta looks fantastic. Like the trainer itself just looks really, really great. This illustration, the style looks so good. And maybe I'm just a sucker for Dom's cards, but this is another S tier card in my personal opinion. I don't know. I just really love the colors of this one. Like the yellow mixes really well with the blue, with the purple. I don't know. It's just it has a lot of personality, and the colors they're really doing it for me, honestly. Next is going to be the Poppy. This one is by Ryota Murayama. I think this card is cool. I think it has a good personality. You have Poppy on top of the Copper Raja. The tree looks really nice in the background as well. Um, Poppy's not a trainer that I particularly care for. Um, so I'll put it in C tier for now. We'll see where it ends up later. Next is the Erika's Invitation. Again, in the last list, I put this super low, but now that we're just comparing trainers, I think it's a really nice looking artwork. I think Hona Tanda did a really good job with this card. I love the, like the plants. There's just a lot of detail. I think that Erika herself has a lot of personality. She looks happy. And then all the perfumes and all the plants, it looks nice. So yeah, I think that I perhaps treated this card a little bit too harshly before. It's definitely better than C tier. I'm gonna put it in B tier. I think that's cool. Maybe a little bit higher actually. I kind of want to move the Dendro down to C tier and move the Saguaro down to D tier. Just for now. We'll see where others end up. Giovanni's Charisma. This card is really good. Really good. This is by Hideki Ishikawa. I'm not a big I don't know a lot about this artist. I know some of their cards, obviously. But I don't know all of them. I think this card is really nice. Persian looks really good. Giovanni looks really good. And he's inside of his lair. You got like the Pokeballs framed up. He's Silphco, right? So you have the Master Ball, and I like the colors, the vibe, the environment. Everything on this card is just doing it for me. And I'm actually not that huge of a fan of like this. Like, it's not that I dislike this card or anything. It's just like I don't know. It's an inexpensive card from 151. It's an inexpensive SAR trainer, but the colors on this card are just like ridiculously good, and like the environment is just insanely good. So I'm gonna put it in like A tier. I don't know. I don't know. And next is the Mela. This is by Rika. I really like the colors, and I really like the shading. What they've done with this card. I don't know. I'm a really big fan of it. Their whole shading style looks kind of like almost it looks steamy, just like the steam from Torkoal's back. Like it just looks like a very interesting color style. And I think it shows off pretty cool personality for Mela. Mela obviously a relatively important character to the plot because they're part of Team Star. And I like the card. What can I say? I think it's a cool looking card. I'm gonna put it in B tier. Sure. Sorry, Poppy. Next is going to be The Parasol Lady by N. Morikura, sorry. Very recent artist. I'm pretty sure this was one of their first cards. But man, this card is just amazing. Like the colors on this card are great. The trainer herself looks really good. You have like the rainbow. It has all the different reflective effects. So you have like a kind of like rainbow on top of their raincoat, which looks really good. Rain dripping from the umbrella. You have the plant, which is being glistened on. You have like the sparkles everywhere. And then you have their eyes, which are like reflecting everywhere. It's a really nice looking card. Like it really is. And I actually really like this card, even though I'm not like I don't know who the trainer is, right? No, it's just an unnamed trainer, but for an unnamed trainer alt art, it looks really good. Next we have Professor Sada's Vitality. I'm not a huge fan of this card, unfortunately. I think Ryota Murayama is a really good artist. I just don't really care for this one all too much. Um, Lechonk, Palmy, Smoliv, I think they're cute Pokemon. Um, they're reading some kind of like journal. It has character, right? But I don't know why. I'm just not really that big of a fan of this one. I'm trying to figure out why I might not be as big of a fan as this one as I am some of the other ones. Maybe it's just like I almost kind of just wish we were a little bit like closer. Like I wish we got like a over the shoulder view of Sada. Like I think that might be a little bit better if they were like looking at something together. I think that would be a little bit more interesting visually. But what do I know, right? I think this card it's in my D tier, unfortunately. I just don't really care for it too much. But this one I really like. I like Professor Turo more as a trainer. I like Cyclizar a lot more as a Pokemon. I like how he's like it's like late night study sesh. He's like locked in. I think that's kind of cool. I like the city in the background. I like how like the light from his computer is radiating against his face and also against Cyclizar's face. Um, I like the neon lights. I like the computer screens. I like just like the colors, because you have like the white lab coat, the gray, so you have like the futuristic kind of colors, but you also have like this bright blue neon light from the computer screens, so it makes it stand out a little bit more. And I'm a big fan of this card actually. I really like it a lot. So I'm gonna put it in A tier. Next we got the Rika. This is by Kantaro again. I don't think this is as good as the Arvin from Scarlet and Violet base set, but it's not bad. I think this card The only thing I don't really like about it is that it's a little bit too far away. I wish we were closer to Rika, like maybe like that close, just like with a different pose. Um, I don't know if this is referencing anything or like what the location is. I can't really remember off the top of my head. But I just don't really know exactly what's going on in the card. I don't dislike it though. I think it's pretty cool. But it's not my most favorite special illustration retrainer, so I'll put it in C tier. Next is the Tulip. This is by Akiragawa, my favorite artist of all time, the Pokemon TCG. I have every single one of their cards except for the Hydreigon, which is the special illustration for Hydreigon. But yeah, this card looks really nice. I don't really care for Tulip or Dendra, so this is purely down to the artwork. The perspective is really good, actually. Having these two characters facing completely different directions, and you have we're like sitting right here. I think it's a good perspective to shoot from. It's very detailed. There's a lot of colors, a lot of lights. It's cool. I dig it. I'm gonna put it in B tier. Actually, maybe B plus tier. It's just for a special illustration rare trainer. It's not really my favorite. I really like when Akiragawa draws Pokemon. I'm not really like sold on Akiragawa drawing trainers as much as I am of them like illustrating Pokemon. I don't know if that makes sense, but I really like their Pokemon and their trainer. It's still a good card. I put it in B tier, but it's not my favorite. Next is going to be the Arvin. This is by Aspara. They have 3 cards here, so we're going to be talking about all 3 of them. This is my favorite out of the 3, definitely. It has a lot of character. Reminds me of the Scarlet and Violet base set Arvin, but I like Arvin. Like, I like how he looks just as much as I do the other one, but just in a completely different style. I like how the trainer's also dropping a sandwich, Arvin's dropping a Pokeball, so you have like that thematic element right there. Um, like the tables like moving around. Um, it's very like it's like mid action. I think it's a really nice looking card. Um, so I'm gonna put it in A tier and put this one in S tier for sure. Next we got the Clive. This is by Taiga Kayama. This artist is also very recent. This is their first special illustration rare card, and I think they did a really good job. The art style is really simplistic, but you see a lot of really cool elements in this card. Like you have a Sylveon, you have all the Team Star members, which is really cool. And they have Clive in the middle, obviously. You got a bunch of different Pokemon on it, like Chonk, Fletchling, Sylveon, Skiploom, or Hoppip, Charcadet, and Bellybolt. You got a Psyduck. But then, yeah, you have all the Team Star members. I think that's really cute. The perspective is really nice. You have like a top-down view, which is cool. I like it. I like it quite a bit, actually. And it's a very underrated card. I think it's probably the cheapest, one of the cheaper special illustration rares from Paldean Fates, but it's definitely really cool. The next one I think is cooler though. This is the Iono by Hanabushi. This is a guest star illustrator, so they only have this one card, I think. This card blows the original Iono out of the water. It has a lot more personality in it. It's not just Iono and food. It's Iono live streaming like at a really really nice like time of day. It features their entire team, which I think is a way better way of like giving Iono some more personality. Having its whole team featured was a really great idea. But also there's stuff going on in the background too. You have people talking, which is cool. Obviously she's doing something somewhere. Live streaming her life. This feels more like casual, and I think it looks a lot better. My personal opinion. S tier. It's one of my favorite special illustration trainers for sure. And I don't know, I just really like it. Even though I don't care for Iono too much, I just really love this artwork a lot. And next is the Nemona. This is also by the same artist that did the Arvin. I don't like this one as much as the Arvin, but I don't hate it. I'm going to make this brief. This is Nemona's only special illustration rare card. I don't know. I don't love it, but I don't hate it. I put it in C tier maybe. Next is the Penny. This one I like a little bit more than the Nemona, but she's holding the Pokeball in a really weird spot. Like the way that she's holding it is very strange. Umbreon feels kind of weird in this card. He's just kind of standing there, or he's just like around. I like how Penny looks. I have 2 of this card. That's cool. But it's not my favorite or anything. I like it more than the Nemona though. I like the colors more, so I'm gonna put it in B tier. Next is the Bianca's Devotion. This is from Temporal Forces. It's by Konan Itanda, same person that did the Erika's Invitation. I think the Erika's Invitation has a little bit more personality than this card. Though I do think the shading is really good on this card, and I like how there's Musharna, who's like the dream Pokemon, and you have Bianca, who's sleeping. I think that's cool, right? It's a cool idea. I don't really like it as much as the Erika, though. Um, you know, the whole thing about me with trainers is that I'm not a part of the waifu craze. I just I just like the artwork. Honestly, like if it has a good artwork, I don't care if it's a guy, girl, or like a fish. I don't care. If it's cool, I'll say that it's cool. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. I'm not really like that with Pokemon cards, so that sets me apart from other people, I guess. Next is the Airy. Wow, this is another S tier card for me. Man, I am not beating the Dom. I am not beating the Dom fan, like #1 Dom fan, uh, like accusations here. I have 3 Dom cards in S tier. That's crazy. Okay, this card is in S tier for a different reason because this art style looks a little bit different from how they drew the Grusha and a little bit different how they drew the draw the Geeta. Like they have different styles, right? This card features Aries' entire team. The violent rage that you see on Aries' face is really cool. Again, Aries is a pretty prominent character because a team star member, so you have like a character bias here as well. Um, yeah, I think that their team looks fantastic. You have purple highlights. You also have teal highlights. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, around Airy. Airy looks really good. The Pokemon look really good. The background looks really great. Again, a lot of personality in this one. I actually really like this one. It's one of my favorites. I'm gonna put this one right here, just so you don't think that I'm like the biggest Dom fan in the entire world. Um, but I just really like their all our trainers a lot. Next is the Morty's Conviction. This is by Megami Mizutani. I really like how there's a Pidgey in this card. Gengar's a big, he looks really big in this card. What can I say? He looks like he's been putting on some weight. Um, but I think it's cool. I actually quite like it. And it's cool that Morty got an all, or I think Morty's a really underrated trainer. No real representation before, and I'm sure people don't buy this card because Morty's on it. They buy it because it's got a Gengar on it. But the fact that it does have a Gengar on it makes it a little bit cooler, and it's not just because it has a Gengar on it. I like the personality, right? I like the character. I like what's going on. It's just cute. I like it. I'm gonna put it in B plus tier because I like it. Um, yeah, it's cool. Next is Salvatore. Last time I put this card pretty high in terms of my tier list. This time I'm not going to put it as high, I don't think, but it's cool. The thing about this card that I really like is that it just has so much in it. Like, there's so much to like. Tetsukayama is an artist who you either love him or you hate him. Like, I think that this art style is one that like you really have to appreciate to appreciate. Like you have to really like this artist to appreciate their artwork. Um, I like the details though. Palmy, you have Dratini, Gothita. Let's see, what else? What else can I catch real quick? I think there's a stone right here. You have, let's see, Teddy Ursa, right? You have the original Gen 1 sprites. And there's just other details on this card, but it's just a very like nice looking card. The personality is there too because you have Salvatore. This is like his living space, right? So it's cool. This is a very unique spot to see the trainer, right? Because you were inside of his room, but you see him like on the other side of the wall, going out with Raichu, which is cool. What can I say? It's cool. Um, I like it. I actually quite like it a lot. And then this might be a hot take because I know this card probably isn't loved by a lot of people, but I like it. Next is the Carmine by Enmorikura. Sorry, I said it wrong again. This card is cool. I dig it a lot. It's just like their Parasol lady, but with a trainer that's actually important to the story. Yeah, it's a combination for disaster, right? I think it's a really nice looking card. I really love the color, love the environment. I like Carmine as a character. When I played the DLC, I thought she was cool. And I like, the food looks really appealing, and she has a personality in this card. It's not just food for the sake of food, right? It's food with a purpose, right? Because it enhances the trainer card, so I like it. And next we have the Kieran, another card that I really like. This is by T0. This is their first special illustration trainer, which is cool, I think. And I like it. I like the mask festival in the background. Got all kinds of masks, a bunch of different ones. You got Pikachu, Ogerpon. You just got other characters with masks, and I think it looks really nice. Kieran showing off a lot of personality in this card, and I like it. I think the Kieran is a really good trainer as well. I really liked his story in Scarlet and Violet. So I'm gonna put this card in A tier for sure. I think it's really cool. Next is the Lana's Aid. This is by Toshino Aoki. Toshino Aoki, an artist in the Scarlet and Violet era who did not get a good start with the Ice Cube, in my opinion, but I think that they're doing a really great job with the artwork that they've been doing recently. This card is no exception. I think that the artwork itself is just great. It's a really cute card. Corfish, Surskit, Wooper. There's a lot to like, and it's very simplistic, but in a good way, right? It doesn't make you think. Like, you don't look at this card and you go, man, this is a lazy piece of artwork. It's just like, this is Toshino Aoki's style, and I think that it does a really good job showcasing that. Um, and sometimes you don't need a bunch of stuff to make a card look nice. Sometimes it's nice to just make a simplistic looking card. So that's going to bump it all the way up to A tier for me. Next is going to be the Perrin. This is by Ghidorah. This card is really nice. Ghidorah did another all art trainer. Oh, this one, the Dendra. This one is much better in my opinion. I think that the angle is a lot better. The colors on this one are sensational. I think that they really did a great job capturing Perrin's appearance here. And then the trees in the background look really nice. But you also have the camera who highlights Growlithe, which is really cute because it connects with the Growlithe. So I think that makes it a lot better. And Perrin is obviously Perrin is obviously a photographer, so it makes way more sense for her to be holding a camera than it does for Dendra to be drinking water. Even though Dendra is a fitness expert or whatever, but water isn't directly related to fitness. She's not a water trainer, right? She's a fighting trainer, I think. But Perrin is literally a photographer, so it makes sense for her to be taking a picture of her Pokemon. Yeah, I like it. I'm putting it in A tier because I really like it. Next is the Cassiopeia by Burari. I think this is their only card. Another guest appearance, pretty sure. This card is alright. I don't think that Penny really needed 3 all arts, to be honest with you. This is probably my least favorite out of the 3 too. Actually, I think the Paldean Fates one is my least favorite. I like Sylveon. Sylveon looks nice. I like the shading on Sylveon. The idea for the card is cool. You have your POV, your computer. You are the computer, and Cassiopeia is hacking on you or whatever. Actually, I like the Paldean Fates one a little bit more. I'm gonna put this one in C tier. Yeah. Actually, I like this one more than the Paldean Fates one. So I'm gonna put this one down as C tier. And I don't want to make anybody mad by putting the Iono in D tier, but I do want to change up the list a little bit. So I'm gonna do this. Cool. Next is gonna be the Briar. This is by Dom. Oh man. I have to resist the urge to put Dom card in S tier. But yeah, this one I don't think it's going in S tier. It's my least favorite Dom all art, even though Dom has 4 of them. Wow, that's a lot. It looks really great still. I think that the card looks really good. Briar is obviously an important trainer to the DLC. All the gems in the background really add to the character. This text on the book here is super detailed for a card that's look at how far away that is. But the text, the indentations are so detailed. I like how Briar looks. I like how this crystal is shining off of them, onto them. But no, it is not S tier. It is B. It is A tier. Yes. Yes. Unfortunately, I will not put this in S tier. I gotta move something up. I want to move something up into S tier. What am I gonna move up? I'm gonna move the Perrin. No, I'm gonna move the Arvin into S tier. And next is gonna be the Lacey. This card is also really good. Oh, cut that out. And this is the Lacey. This card has a lot of personality as well. You have all the BB League Elite Four in here. They all have their own personalities. I think that this looks really great. It's the perfect representation of these trainers, and I think that it's just a great looking card overall. I really like Lacey. I think that she has a cool personality, and I think that she was a cool trainer in the games. So I like it. I'm gonna put it in A tier. This list is very top heavy because the trainers are very hard to rate compared to the Pokemon. I like this one a lot though. It has a lot of personality. So next is going to be the Drayton by Dom. Another Dom all art. Wow, Dom has a lot of special illustration. 5 trainers. That's crazy. This one is my least favorite. I do think it has a lot of personality. I really like Drayton as a trainer a lot because he uses Duraludon or Chaladon. So that's cool. I like the perspective, and I like how the trainers are in the background. I like how Dom is grabbing some cookies. It's very casual, slice of life kind of moment. but I'm gonna put it in like B plus tier. Like I don't love it as much as some of their other special illustration rare trainers, but hey, B plus tier is still a really good tier to be in. This is the Clement by Shinya Mizuno. This card is cool. I think that it has a lot of personality, right? Like you have like Clement working on some kind of mechanical thing. Um, I wish there was a little bit more going on. Maybe some like sparks flying from one of his machines, or like like some actual machines like whirring or something. Um, I don't know. He's just kind of holding a wrench. I don't really know exactly what he's doing either. Like I don't. There needs to be like a little bit better of an illustration of like what he's actually doing, because I personally I just don't really know what's going on. But I don't dislike it. I think it's cool. Um, but is it better than a lot of these other ones? Probably not. I know. I was just saying that I like this card. Now I'm gonna put it in C tier, but C tier is not a bad tier to be in. I don't think it is. Yeah, that's cool. Next is going to be the Alicia's Appeal. This card is by a guest star artist. This is a cool card. I am not a big fan of Alicia. Alicia is like a $300 card from the Sun and Moon era. This card is, people are gonna like it, I'm sure. Yeah, people are gonna really like it, right? I like how she has a Mega. The Mega, I think my favorite part about this card is the fact, first of all, Atari is in it. That's cool. But my second favorite part about it is just the fact that the Mega Stone is here, which just gives me good hopes for the future of Pokemon. Um, but yeah, this card is okay. It's cool. I don't really have that much to say about it. It's got a good personality, I guess. Um, I'm gonna put it in C tier. I just personally like I don't know. It's a little bit too close to the trainer. Like I just wish it was a little bit further away. I wish there was a little bit more going on in it. Um, so I'm gonna put it in C tier. Our final alt art trainer is the Jasmine's Gaze. This one is cool. It's again just like a casual special illustration rare trainer by Fujimoto Gold. First like illustration rare, special illustration rare I think, other than the Cramorant art rare. So second, I guess it's not my first. But this is cool. I don't know what else to really say about it. It's okay. It's not my favorite. I'm gonna put it in this tier, C tier, like above the Alicia. I like it a little bit more. You can go B tier, and that's my list, I guess. Yeah, I guess that's my list. Yeah, this is my list for the special illustration rare trainers. If you guys like this list, let me know. If you don't like this list, please let me know, because I think I could have definitely got a lot of stuff wrong on this list, because I am not a trainer fanatic. There are some that I like though, like everything in the S tier. And everything in the A tier I really like. Everything in the B plus tier I really like. But yeah, that's my tier list. Like I said, if you guys enjoyed, leave a like, leave a comment with your favorite special illustration or trainer and why. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one, and I'll see you.